I don't want you to step out because that'll be happening all training. You won't be able to get trained. So we'll have multiple breaks and multiple phone calls for that, okay? Test this.
Oh, wait.
Wait, what? Oh, just kidding. Hi there.
Am I taking it wrong?
I think so. I'm sorry. You switch shoes?
They're killing me. Hasn't been an hour.
You got it. You know, you can't wear flats. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Okay. So at the top, who are we missing? Coming in. Okay. Luke, is anyone missing? We got to roll. Vika. Okay, let's get it in. So at the top, I want you to write down contract. Okay. I think it's Vika. And what I'm going to do is go through the logistics of the contract that you're about to sign to start working with our company. Now, I'm going to do an abbreviated version, but if you want to go through it one-on-one and go through fine detail later, I'm absolutely more than open to do that. But I want you to write down the different points so I can summarize what all these things mean, okay? So first clause means that you are officially, when you sign this, a Cutco. You're officially what's considered a Cutco sales rep. That's the job that you're doing with our company when you sign this, okay? What that means, number one, is no internet sales. So in other words, you can't sell your Cutco on eBay to try and make money. Otherwise, the company will just shut your contract off because that's not how we sell the product. There's only one way that you're trained to sell the product, and how's that? One-on-one, professionally set appointment. So that also means no door-to-door. You're not harassing people and knocking around. Not that you'd want to do this, but no random solicitation, and it's not telemarketing where you're just picking up a phone book and to see who can see you. It's only if you know them, acquaintance, directory, or you're what? The last one. Recommended to these people. So it's more professional. So far, so good? Okay, pretty straightforward. Number two. Means you will turn in all orders or turn in meaning enter, sorry. You will enter all orders in by Monday at midnight, and each week it's due no later than Monday at midnight for you to get paid on those orders. So for example, everything you sell and enter into the computer by Monday at midnight will count for that week's paycheck. If it's past midnight, it's Tuesday, it would just count for the next pay cycle. Okay. So the system that we have is called Rollo, R-O-L-O. R-O-L-O stands for Rep Online Order. Okay. You have the website on the front of your training manual. It says vectorconnect.com. When you finish training today, you're going to get a rep number so you can log in, and you'll just click on the little tab that says Rollo. Luke's going to walk you through this. It's just like when you buy online, you put the customer's name, billing address, shipping address, and then the shipping information. It's no different than you buy anything else. Then you put credit card information. Okay. We accept forms in credit card, debit card, okay. Direct ACH, and I'll explain what that means in a second. Credit card, debit card, you just put the number down, expiration date. Direct ACH, does anyone know what that is?
Account.
Yeah, so ready? If someone wants to pay by a check, that's fine. You have to put what's called the routing number. It's like 9 digits at the bottom, and there's an account number. You put that into the computer, and it's the same thing as if you put a credit card number. It just pulls it right from the account. We do not send checks to the company. We just take the number from the bottom of the check. So far, so good? Okay, those are the two forms of payment. Okay. Let me just make sure. So by midnight, roll on. Here's what's really cool. When I see you on Monday, 10% of you will be just shy of your first promotion, and that's you. Remember, don't 10 push-ups. Remember, how long is training? 10 days. 10 days. So that means you're the person who's going to need a little bit more attention on Monday. No worries. And if you're a high flyer on the top 10%, thank you, Luke. That means we're going to keep you flying high. Okay. But 80% of you will be between 1 and 3,000, and 10% of you will sell between 3 and 10,000 plus. Okay, that's by Monday. What's cool is Monday's advanced training is in the morning. It's from 10:30 to 3. This is advanced training number 1. It's from 10:30 to 3. So no matter which situation you're in, when you leave, what do you want to make sure you have right after? 2 or 3 what? Appointments. Oh yeah, for sure. Because every week, without fail, every week, you guys know in the train, who's the front? The engine. Who's the back? It's called the caboose. Every week, the cabooses of training move up every week after advanced training because of the training we give them and whatever we tweak for them. But they have to make sure you have 3 or 4 appointments after. It's going to be a big day. Okay? And that also means no matter what happens by advanced training, you have a really, really big opportunity to impact your paycheck because it's orders up until midnight on Monday. So last week, our top 2 sellers for the week were actually at the bottom when they got here on Monday morning. But by midnight on Monday, they became one of our top 2, number 2 and number 3 in the whole group. So just food for thought. Okay, cool. Number 2. Number 2 is just a review of the sales pay program. So I'm going to do a quick review of how you get paid here. And I'm going to do a little chart that might look familiar from your interview. Okay. So we have the base pay. And then we have the incentive commission. Okay. Incentive commission is just a fancy word for commission. So the base pay you already know. It's $15 base per appointment. How come we can't say an hour? You guys know now.
Because you may not have an appointment every hour.
Or how long? What?
45 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes it's 45. But Jordan, go ahead. The best ones take longer. A, because they know you, but also why? Yeah, they're buying more and giving you more racks. You like it. That's why 2 hours is good for the appointment. So, for example, let's say you're super part-time during the school year and you're only doing 10 appointments around class. Maybe you're working weekends only. That means you're guaranteed 10 times the 15. No matter what, your paycheck can't be less than 150 that week. Easy math, right? So first, a thumbs up if you understand. Easy. 20 appointments. Okay, double the appointments is double the pay, and so forth and so forth. So this is the base pay to guarantee that you guys are not high pressuring customers. But here's what's really cool. I'm going to talk about this. This is like the insurance pay. Why do you have car insurance? Just in case. This is just in case. This isn't how you make money. This is just the backup. Okay? And we'll talk about that. Now there are 3 check marks, and I want you to write this down, please. There are 3 check marks that have to be hit for the presentations to be a guaranteed presentation. Okay, and you probably remember this from the interview. Number 1, they have to be at least 30 years of age. Why is that really, really important? Yeah, they're a Mac customer. How come not 21?
Can't afford it.
Yeah, how come not your 10-year-old sister? They can't afford it, wouldn't use it. It's got to be at least 30 years of age. Now, if you have an exception, you feel like, Jeff, I've got this 29-year-old lawyer who just bought their second BMW. You think I might let you see them? What do you think? Yeah, but make sure you talk to me because it's not officially accepted as an appointment. But we're not stupid. We know we'll close the sale with that person. You just have to come talk to us. So far, so good. Any questions? Okay. Next one. They have to be fully employed. That's a no-brainer. Why? Vika, why do they have to be employed? They have to pay for it, right? Now, in the event that you have spouse and husband, okay, it's okay if you show the housewife if you know she has purchasing power. Okay, as long as someone in the household is providing for the house. Okay. Also, they have to own a home. Now, again, how many of you have some top 5 that maybe rent, but they rent and they have a lot of money? Well, that's different. Talk to us one-on-one, but make sure they have a home because it provides 2 incomes and they also have a higher stability. Last thing. Luke, how do you want to refer as a check-in? Yeah.
Which one's morning check-in?
No, we're just doing demo for now, right?
Oh, clock in.
Clock in, okay. How do you clock in for your jobs when you worked at restaurant, retail, wherever you work? How do you clock in? Computer, right? Or old school. You know what old school is?
Chick, chick.
That like clock. That was called the clock. Did anyone do that before?
Yeah.
Where?
CC's.
What? CC's Pizza?
CC's Pizza.
Wow,
Chick-fil-A,
that was considered old when I was young. Like the.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, old school. But now it's what you log onto whatever computer and you hit your number. Let's say Ryan's my boss at where would I work if I were a high school kid now? J. Crew. Let's say I was working at J. Crew, and this is my manager. Okay, and I don't clock in, and I work 40 hours for the week, and I say, Ryan, let's go. Come on. Where's my paycheck? What's Ryan gonna say?
And click in.
Ryan can't clock in. Why? I can't pay you. He didn't clock in. So the same thing applies here. You have to make sure you clock in from and after the appointment. So we'll put them from and then after. Okay. From and after. Now Luke's going to give you the phone number later to call. You're not going to call his direct cell phone unless you have a question. You're going to call a central number. It's a Google Voice number. It's actually a California, Napa Valley, California zip code. So don't go thrown off. It's a number that when you call it, it goes to all the staff. So someone's going to help you. You guys see how that works? So if Luke's busy, let's say he's at church, or let's say Josie is off for the day, someone will see that phone number ring and will be able to help you clock in. We'll get you to clock in. What we do is we have a computer program and it has all of your appointments. Whenever you set appointments, you're going to give us a sheet of paper, and Luke has one. At the end of today, before you leave, you're going to give us the day and time of all of your appointments. Every time you have a phone jam Sunday and Wednesday, before you leave, you're going to give the same timesheet with all the appointments that you have booked. We're going to transfer it into the appointment program. So when you call us, we just look for your name and your appointment and we check it off. Pretty simple, straightforward, right? Okay. So from. Okay. Remind me again why you call from the presentation. There's two reasons. What's going to happen?
You can either get a discount.
Either we're going to give you a discount or give you some wheel and deal with some free stuff. What's the second reason you call in?
Coaching.
What's that?
Help.
Some coach help. Like you have questions or you're not sure. Okay. Or number three, best case scenario, you're calling in why?
To do a
Pleasure.
deal.
Because you already made the sale and you're just going to let us know what sale it is. So far, so good. So you're just calling in. When you call in, okay, two things. I'm going to give you when we answer the phone, we're going to answer the phone really fun to create enthusiasm because, of course, it's action speak louder than words. What's better, not smiling or smiling?
Smile.
Yeah, so Luke's always going to try and make you smile or laugh on the phone, even in front of the customer, not in an obnoxious way. So when he answers the phone, let's say Joelle's calling in, or let's say Lexi's calling in. Go, "Ding," and Luke will go, "Fast Star Hotline, this is Jeff." Right? And it's to put you in a good mood, but it's also to create energy. Ready? So Fast Star Hotline, this is Jeff. Oh, hey, Jeff, it's Lexi. I'm sitting with Miss, what's the really buff mom, the gym?
Joanna.
It's okay. Hey, hey, Luke, and this is how you're going to do. Okay? You're going to let us know day. That's right. Number one, you're going to give us the appointment info. Fast Star Hotline, this is Luke. Hey, Luke, this is Lexi. Oh, how's it going, Lexi? I'm actually sitting here with Miss Joanna for my 8:30 appointment. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, Lexi, what's your last name? Hayes. Lexi Hayes. 8:30. Got it. Boom. Checked off. Then she's already verified. Got it? Okay, cool. I'm just sitting with the customer and I wanted to update you. And then you do step two. Step two is let us know what's happening. And there's only two situations. Either you did or you didn't make the sale. They either said yes or they said no. If they said yes, what does that mean? What are you calling for?
To make the order.
What are you trying to do?
Upsell.
You were trying to upsell if you're calling. If they say no, what are you trying to get? Help. Okay. But you can't say those things in front of a customer, right? So we have code words. It's really cool. We have code words. So if we have what's called definitely is the first code word. And considering is the second code word. So please write those into your notes. So after you let us know what the name of the customer is you're calling from and the time, we'll check you off and they'll say, okay, Lexi, talk to me. What's going on? Okay, well, Miss Joanne loved the presentation. I just finished up and I asked her if she'd like to get it. She's definitely going to get the homemaker. That means she said yes. And we're trying to upgrade. Because you can't say, oh yeah, I'm actually, Miss Joanna's going to get the homemaker, but I want to sell more. What do I do? Like you can't say that. This is a polite way of saying she's going to say yes, and we're going to try and upgrade. I'll stop there. Anyone understand that? What's the code word again? Definitely is good. So Luke will do things like this. He'll say, all right, Lexi, do me a favor. Pull out a piece of paper. Pull out that really fancy notebook of yours. So she pulls it out. Okay, I want you to write down the price of the homemaker. Okay, you got it? Okay. And this is right in front of the customer. Okay, Jeff, what else, Luke? Okay, now I want you to cross it out. Okay, cool. And then I want you to write the new number. You ready? And then we'll discount it. I can't tell you yet. I'll surprise you. Okay? And then I want you to present that to the customer. He'll say, all right, Lexi, see if the customer likes that and call me back. And what's the worst case scenario? No, I'll just take the homemaker. Cool. The best case scenario, you get a discount. Now, it won't be the homemaker, it'll be the other two. Okay. So whatever Luke instructs you to do that and call him back. And you'll just learn to wheel and deal with the customer. Pretty simple. Okay. So when they say yes, definitely. If they say no, they say I can't afford it. They say and now's not a good time. Anything other than a yes, you just write, and you remember from yesterday, okay, no problem. Remember that? Oh, okay, Miss Joanna, no problem. Let me go ahead and check you in my office. You don't try to explain why you're calling. Mrs. Jones, no problem. Let me just check you in my office. You call right there. Say, hey, Luke. Pastor Hotline, this is Luke. Hey, Luke. You're so funny. This is Lexi. I'm just checking in with Miss Joanne from my 8:30. Okay, cool. Hold on one second. Let's see. Got it. Okay, talk to me. Well, I'm with Miss Joanne right now. Yeah, and we had a really good appointment. I felt good. Now's not a good time. She was saying they have something going on, but they're just considering the homemaker, but now's not a good time. That's code word for help me. That's code word for she said no for whatever reason. Help me. Okay? So, write that in your notes. No. And we will either tell you to drop down or we'll give you a discount. And Luke, you want them calling before the drop down, right? Yeah. Okay. So we will either tell you, you know what? Ask the customer this question. Miss Joanne, my boss would like to know, Okay, she said this. Cool, you know what? Just say no problem. We have other smaller sets. Let me at least finish the rest of the presentation. And we'll just tell you to drop down. Based on the questions we ask, we'll know if it's better just to go to the smaller options. Okay? Now, we might also say, well, ask the customer. If Cutco were free, do they feel like they would use the homemaker? Oh, yeah. Ask them if they got a major discount today for Mother's Day weekend. Would they consider? What do you think they always say? It was cool. Well, what is it? What does that show you when they say, yeah, let me hear her? That the whole time, what, they really could? They could buy it, but there's some type of buyer's remorse. Okay? And then Luke will do the whole thing. Okay, write down the homemaker price, cross it out. Tell Miss Joanne, we'll hook her up today for Mother's Day, that this is the new price. And the key to this, Luke, what's the key to this after you give a deal to the student? After we give them a deal, you've got to be excited.
You can do that?
You've got to be excited in front of the customer because who does that rub off on? Yeah, 55% of communication is body language. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And actions speak louder than words. So if I get a deal, if I'm Lexi, okay, I'll write this down. Okay, cross it out. Ooh, okay. Okay. Wow, great. Okay. It's funny that Miss Joanne's going to go, what? Let me see. But don't do this. Okay. Okay, I'll show them. Okay. How's that look? Right, so Luke, there's multiple ways. You can say, wow, that's great. Luke's really funny. What do you say?
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Like, is that legal?
We can do that.
And the customer always laughs. What are you talking about? Right? But worst, at bare minimum, wow, that's awesome. Let me show them. I think they'll at least appreciate that. I think they'll really appreciate that. And just show them. And what's the worst that happens? Worst, they say no, and Luke's just going to tell you to go through the rest of the presentation. If that ever happens, you just go down through the rest. Luke will tell you what to do, and you show the rest of the options. Because odds are, A, you're either going to find a set that hits their budget button. Maybe 1,200 didn't hit their budget button. Maybe the discount didn't hit them. But 500 might be, oh, well, I can do that. Oh, well, and worst case scenario, what? We'll get you a couple pieces, worst case, to help get started. So far, so good? Okay, one more time. So if you sold the homemaker, but you're looking to upgrade, what do you say? Hey, Luke, I am. Mrs. Jones is definitely getting the homemaker. One more time. What do you say? Definitely. If the customer says no for any reason, if they say, I don't want it, even if they say whatever reason, okay, Mrs. Jones, let me check it with my office. And you say, Luke, the customer is considering the homemaker, but not right now. Just don't say this. Hey, Luke, it's Lexi calling with Miss Joanna, 8:30. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, got it. Talk to me. Yeah, I'm sitting with her. She's loving it, and she's definitely considering it. Then Luke's going to be really confused. So far, so good? Okay. So that's check in. But here's where you make the money. I'm going to put it in green. I'm going to talk about the commission incentive. When you haven't sold anything yet, you're making 10%. It takes only $1,000 to hit your first promotion. Then you go to 15%. $3,000 is 20%. $6,000 is 25%. 30, $10,000. You guys know this. You're here early. 10 of you or 9 of you are here early because you're trying to do this in just 10 days or more. Here's what's really cool. You don't know this yet, but you can go all the way up to 50% on commission. I'll cover the bonuses later on once you're done your training. So the higher you get, once you get to 20,000, there's a bonus. Once you get to 50,000, there's a bonus. And once you get into a management training, here's what's really cool. When you have an office like Jeremy's running in Richmond, Virginia, it counts for your total sales, and you can earn all the way up to 50%. Luke, for example, makes 50% of commission. Okay, that's really, I want to get you there as soon as I can. That's the big time money. 30 is big time game-changing, life-changing money for a college student. 50%, that's just the big time money here. Okay, this is like Grant Strayer, who every summer, after the summer, will write a check and pay for his full tuition in Indiana. Like that kind of deal. Okay? So, what I want to show you miss one more thing real quick. One more requirement. Please put this in for another check mark. It's got to be a one-on-one presentation. Let's skip that. One-on-one presentation. We don't do group presentations. Can anyone guess why the company doesn't advocate and it doesn't really work to do group presentations? Like, why wouldn't I do my whole family in one room?
Everybody might want to talk about their finances.
Okay, number one, people buy stuff together. People don't invest in groups, though. How much is an investment for our training when they spend over? And they spend over 1,000. People buy in groups, but they don't do investments in groups. Like, ready? People don't go group house shopping. People don't do group car shopping. People don't do group appliance shopping. It's usually one-on-one because it's an investment. Number two, what might happen if you're doing a group in a negative way? That will hurt your sales. You might be overwhelmed, but also you have that one aunt who's just
Everyone's opinion.
yeah, everyone's got their opinion. So let's say I'm showing let's say there was a group presentation and I'm showing Miss Lexi here. She goes, "Oh, honey, I want that signature. That is awesome." And then Uncle Chris and his wife go, "Oh yeah, you're getting that. Well, we're getting the complete whatever, or like competition." And John goes, "Well, we'll start with that set, but we like it." Well, let's say Alexa's having a bad day because her daughter crashed the car. What's that called? Remember? Buyer's remorse. And she says, that is so expensive. Like, I can't afford anything right now. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that either. Well, I don't want to be the only one. Well, I'm out too. 0, 0, 0, 0 versus it would have been a signature, a complete, a homemaker, and I could have either worked out a deal with her one-on-one in privacy with the office, or it would have just been 0 and 3 sets versus all those zeros. So group presentations don't work with our company. We also don't qualify those, okay? So here's what I want to talk about with the pay. The base pay is just a guaranteed, it's like an insurance policy. The way you make money is with the commission. It works like this. It's either or, whichever one is higher on a weekly basis. So you get paid every week. So to give you an idea, what's this? Let's just say, I'll use Lexi as an example. Let's say Lexi does 20 appointments for the week. Okay. By the base pay, how much is she guaranteed to earn no matter what for that week? That's the guaranteed 300. But of course, she's going to make her proper sales. And even if she's really average, let's say she does 20 appointments. Even if she's average, what percentage should buy? What percentage? 60%. Okay, that's 12 sales. What's the average order even if she never sells a laptop set? 300. That's 3,600. That's already a $400 plus paycheck no matter what. Which one's higher, 300 or 400? Yeah, she's always going to get the 400. I'll give you another example. Let's say she does 20 appointments for the week. What's her guaranteed pay? Okay, let's say her commission is $301. What's her paycheck? 301. Okay. For some reason, though, and this doesn't happen. In fact, we had the lowest amount of people that this happened to in the entire country last summer. People who needed insurance. Think of this. When you have really, really good driving records, what happens? You get good insurance rates, okay? We had the best insurance rates in the company last summer. I feel like State Farm. Okay. This is Jake from State Farm. Okay. So let's say her paycheck, her commission only works out to 280 that week. What's her paycheck?
300.
Yeah, the higher of the two. Okay. So the whole point, you don't have to memorize this math, is that you can never earn less than the base pay, but, ready? There's some serious commission, which I'm going to talk about when you do it the right way and you just follow the averages. Okay? That's the pay. Number 4, we'll wrap up contract. Very bottom. Number 3 at the bottom is just the list of all the things I covered with only 101, 30 or more employed homeowner. Turn to page 4 in the back, or number 4 in the back. Number 4 has to do with taxes. So let me give you a really cool update here. With our company, you're not considered an employee. You're considered an independent contractor. An independent contractor, according to the IRS, means you're a self-business owner. So the tax advantage, many of you have family that is independent contractors, meaning you pay less in taxes than someone who's employed. And here's why. If you've been an employee, you guys know, you get a form that you have to fill out. What's the form called?
W-2.
Yeah, it's called the W-2. Okay. When you're an independent contractor, okay, you fill what's called you get what's called a 1099. Okay, the difference is here you get your pay, but taxes are taken out every week. Who's already worked a job like that, right? They take out a certain percentage and your paycheck less. Here, you get your pay and nothing gets taken out of your paychecks. Nothing gets taken out of your paychecks weekly. You get the full pay, and we pay our taxes later in April next year, right? It's by April 15th. The difference is when you have a 1099, you have what's called business expenses. Again, because this qualifies you as a business owner. So to the government, you are an independent Cutco sales distributor, which means anything you spend money on, anything that you spend money on that is involved in working with this job, you can now use that as a tax deduction. So I want you to write down the following list of things that if you're spending money on it, normally you'd have to spend money on it anyway. Now it becomes a deduction from your taxes. Okay. Number 1, how did you get here?
Gas.
Gas or bus or Uber, right? I don't think anyone bus, like gas or Uber. So you can put down gas/Uber, it's transportation. Those of you that have a car, if your car doesn't work, then what can't you do? You can't drive, which is part of your job. So ready, car maintenance. This doesn't include those rims or tinting or the stereo system. Like room maintenance, any oil change or repairs. 3, any business supplies that you purchase. What's a business supply right now? You're writing that down right now. Yeah. If you end up getting an iPad or a laptop anytime soon, right? What will you use that for as it pertains to work? Communicating. What else? Say it again.
Oh, the internet.
Well, let's stay with the iPad or the computer. What else would you use the computer, laptop for here?
Connect.com.
Put in orders. What else would you use the laptop to get organized with your recommendations and your schedule? Yeah. So it's a business tool. So if you end up getting a computer down here on out, you can write off the computer as a business tool. Okay. You can't write off clothing for you fashion people that love clothes, but you can write off dry cleaning. So you can write down dry cleaning because those clothes, dry cleaning, are to consider what kind of clothes usually? Business or professional. Okay. Also, meals and entertainment. And I want you to write down meals and entertainment, and you can write parentheses 1/2. 1/2, meaning anytime you have anything food related because you're with people at work, like when we go out every Wednesday to do fun stuff, or you're at a conference, all those meals are considered meals and entertainment at work, so you get half the full amount of the write-off. Okay. Also, separate category, food supplies. What does that mean? Food supplies.
Groceries.
Groceries for what?
Work.
Yeah, for your presentation. So if you decide that you really want to start bringing your own food and not leave it to chance that customers don't have a lot of food, then it save the receipt and everything becomes a tax deduction there. Okay. Those are the big ones. Oh, cell phone. Sorry, cell phone, big one. Monthly cell phone bill. Plus, if you get a new cell phone, that will also count. So all you have to do is remember 3 things. Number 1, save receipts or have records of it on the computer online. A lot of you have banks where you can easily print out the statements or save the receipts. Number 2, always pay with a debit card or credit card so it's recorded. It's easier. Versus cash, you have to have a receipt, and not everyone keeps the receipts very well. Number 2, April 15th is when it's due. Next year, 2019. And when it's time, I'm gonna put down accountant, parents, or tax service. Accountant, parents, or tax service. If your parents do their own taxes or your taxes, you give them all your receipts and you give them your 1099 form, which you'll get at the end of the year, and they'll do your taxes. Or you give it to your family accountant, or you can do a tax prep service, which is H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt. They prepare your taxes. And what's really cool is you spend about anywhere between 30 to 50% less in taxes. We don't pay it all at once during the week. We pay it later on. But because of these that you just listed off, cell phone, laptop, you're required to pay less than the total taxes you would have paid to get taken out. So right now, you don't need to even worry about that until you get to $6,000 in sales because you're not making enough money for the IRS to care. Okay, but once you get to 6,000, we're going to set up a tax withholding so that when you make money, a little bit goes to the side to make sure you have money for taxes. Any questions on that? Okay, and then next year, towards the end of the year, we run a workshop. If you want help with taxes, we'll teach you how to do step 3 here. Cool. So the bottom line, you make more money here, but you also save more money and keep more money because you pay less in taxes. How's that sound? Cool. Okay. Last few. Number 5 means that you will be ethical and honest and not make stuff up to try and hassle and haggle customers to make sales. Right? No embellishing of the products. The products are the same material used on space shuttles. Like I've heard that before. That's not true. I've heard that before. That was common in our company. That's not true, right? Only what's in the book, okay? Number 6, it says you can't create liability for the company, meaning, for example, you can't buy a car and then send the bill to Cutco because that would be creating liability for Cutco as an independent contractor, okay? Number 7 means that we're gonna give you $450 worth of Cutco sample knives. What do you think the contract's saying to you?
If you quit, you better bring it back.
Bring it back if you're not working with us already. Just make sure you take care of it because you're liable for it. So let me give you a couple of tips. You don't even have to write this down. If it's $450 in worth merchandise, let's say you had a $450 purse, ladies, would you leave it on your front seat when you go into the grocery store? No. So always keep it with you, or put it in the trunk, or leave it at home. When you're at home, what should you do with it? Use it every day to get comfortable with the products. Number 2, if you are not working for over a week, like you're on vacation, you're out of the country, out of town, then what you'll do is you'll just return the kit back, come to Luke, and he will check you off with the company as having returned the kit. And then when you come back from your vacation, you come back, you pick up a new kit, and you're ready to roll. That sound good? If you leave for a week and you don't turn the kit in, the company will see you haven't worked for a week, and then they'll send out a communication to you. If you don't return the kit within 2 weeks of not working, then the company will pursue. So you don't want that. So what do you do to make sure that doesn't happen? Just make sure you bring the kit back. Okay. And food for thought. I just want to give you some confidence here. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, there's 11 of you here. The kit costs $450. Right? And there's 11 of you here. I'm just going to round down to 10. Roughly $4,500 worth of merchandise I'm going to give you today. Luke's going to give it to you today before you walk out and sell knives. Yeah. $4,500. I don't have to give a kit to someone if I don't want to because these are not even my kits. They're Cutco company's kits. So if for some reason I give you guys a kit or a student a kit and they peace out and we never see them again and they keep the knives, the company will try and pursue them, but who gets charged in the meantime? Right? So here's something you can take a lot of confidence in. We don't graduate everyone from training if we don't feel like they're going to these 2 things and be someone who's going to do the program properly. If you're here today, I'm giving all of you a kit. That means I have $4,500 betting on you right now. I don't have to give you a kit. If someone in training I realize doesn't pay attention, doesn't follow directions, I can say, hey, you can finish. Bonique, I know it's not you, but I would say, hey, Bonique, I don't think it's going to be for either one of us, but you're more than welcome to finish the training. And I just won't give them a kit. But you're all going to get a kit today. Why? Because I know you're going to sell out of Cutco and do well. And worst case scenario, follow the directions and finish how long of a training? Yeah, 10 days and give it the right shot. Okay, nice work. Number 8 means that the Cutco trademark right here and the trade names that you see are copyright. So what does that mean by law? You can't just copy it, right? Now, if you want to make business cards, why would you think about doing that?
You can get more recommended.
Okay, or it's just more professional to leave it with someone. Number 1, when you get business cards, save the receipt. Why? the tax write-off. And number two, if you want to use the logo, you just have to let me know. And I'll send an email and you get approved and you can use the logo. But you just have to get it approved. Okay, cool. Number 8 or number 9. Actually, you know what? I do have to read this word for word. Can you guys follow along? Number 9 with me. Okay. Number 9 says the sales rep may terminate this agreement by mailing written notice at the company's admin office at 322 Houghton Avenue, Olney, New York, 14760, and by fulfilling outstanding obligations. Here's the part I want you to really follow. The company reserves the right to terminate this agreement at any time for good cause. Good cause includes, but is not limited to, a breach of this sales rep agreement, mishandling of customer funds or credit card information, submitting dishonored checks, falsifying information, or misuse or unauthorized use of Cutco Corporation-owned trade names or trademarks. The agreement may terminate if the sales rep fails to submit an order for the company's consumer products within a year of his or her last previously accepted order. Let me give you the English version, okay? Number 1, it means if you don't turn an order in within a full year, the company's going to assume you just don't work here anymore, and they're going to freeze your account, which means you can't turn in any more orders unless you call me, and then I can reactivate your account after a year. And what does that mean? Well, sometimes people will go abroad for a year and still want to sell Cutcos when they come back. We have people all the time that Alex Jessup, right? If she decides she wants to sell Cutco when she gets back from France, it's been a year, so we just have to reactivate her account. It also means the following, okay? In the case of any fraudulent behavior, and I want to say that I'm saying this not because I believe this in any of you, but I have to say this to protect the company. In the past, the company has found people that have tried to cheat, steal, and lie from the company, like any big company, right? For example, if you work retail, some people try to short the register. If you work food, especially, people that try to short the register. And what does the company do to those people?
Right.
Yeah, you fire them. In some cases, what do they do?
Pursue.
Yeah, they pursue, okay. Here's what I will say, so you know, the company doesn't mess around with people being fraudulent with customers' money, credit card information. So just be wary and be very ethical with how you handle things. That's all. And in the past, when someone shorts the register, let me give you what that looks like here with our company. Shorting the register with Cutco is like someone doing appointments, okay? And for example, doing a group presentation and trying to say they did 10 different appointments and getting $150. Well, first of all, we know they're already they're not doing the right thing. And we also know they're not telling the truth, because if you do 10 appointments, how many should you sell on? 6 at least if you mess up. 5 if you're just terrible. But if they do 0 for 10, what means we know that the presentation didn't really happen. Or we'll have a student that, let's say, Miss Lexi is one of my closest friends' moms. And I say, hey, Miss Lexi, here's my book. See if you like anything. Can I get some food? And they let them take the book. And then I'll call Luke. Hey, Luke, this is Jeff. Yeah, Miss Lexi, 4:30. Yeah, yeah, we did the presentation. Yeah, she's considering, not right now. Did I really do the presentation? No, that's another way of shorting the register for their company. And the company will either fire or pursue. Same thing. Or we've had students that pretend, this one drives me crazy. It doesn't ever happen here often, but a student that will say they did presentations with people they didn't even really sit down with at all. Not even that. They'll just say, hey, Miss Alexa, if my boss Luke calls, or Jeff, he's the really cool one. If Jeff calls, tell him I did a presentation. Okay, thanks. Well, first of all, that's not going to happen. Number 2, what are you supposed to do from and after every presentation? Yeah, so we know they didn't check in. Okay, so all I'm saying is, look, I don't expect any of you to do that stuff. But here's what's really cool. The other side of why I'm saying this to you, you can feel really good about your pay program, because the commission that we have has never gone down in the history of our company. Meaning, some companies, when they're going through hard times or they're not making profit, what do they have to do to people or people's pay? Cut or lower. In the history of our company, we have never had a pay decrease, only pay increases. And why? Because 2 reasons. Number 1, we sell so much Cutco. We sell a lot. And number 2, people who try to cheat the company, they always get caught. Okay, so take a lot of comfort in that, knowing that your pay is always going to be protected. Okay, and then the last 2 bullets down there mean that you will represent yourself in an ethical fashion, like I said earlier, that you were accepted through the process of interviewing, meaning we accepted you to be here, you didn't just show up, and that your social security number is accurate for tax purposes. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to pass this to your left. I have one more thing to cover. If you have any questions during the break, let me know. We'll cover this with you one-on-one. I want to cover one more thing, and then we'll let you take a break and get on the phone to get some more customers. Bless you. So check this out real quick. Let's do this real quick. Give me 5 minutes of your time. Then we'll take a quick stretch, and Luke's going to help you get more appointments. We'll have a mini phone jam here. I want to talk about the base pay for a quick second. Here's why. I know for most of you, in fact, because of your age, and I looked at your applications, and I just know your story. You told me. Not all of you, but most of you. $15 per presentation is already a lot of money for you. Where you go, yeah, I'm okay with 15. Right? I know that because you're normal age for that to be the case. But I just want to share with you how to get the most and how you make money here. It is really awesome how much money you can make with our company, even if that's not the most important thing to you. Because $15, that's like car insurance. One more time, you said this earlier, Chris. Car insurance is for what? Just in? What's car insurance for? Why do you have car insurance?
So I can.
No. Why do people have car insurance? Just in?
Insurance, like just in case.
That's it, just in case, right?
Yeah.
Just in case, that's all. But if I have insurance on my car, I don't drive like this, do I? I have insurance. I'm okay. Yeah, you guys are laughing. What? That's silly. People also don't crash their car because they want to make insurance money. Number one, what's that called? That's illegal. It's called insurance fraud. And number two, that's just silly. Let me put myself in harm's way and break my car to try and make money. People actually do that. It's weird. Okay? It's the same thing here. Ready? People don't go into a presentation saying, you know what? I just want to make my 15. I'll be okay. If that's you, if you ever feel that way, I'm just going to do the presentation for Miss Alexa, my neighbor, so I can make 15. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to cancel that appointment. I want you to call Luke, come in, set up an appointment. I want you to turn in your kit, not work here, and let us help you find a different job. That's not the job here. Because if you do that and your goal is to make 15 bucks, what kind of presentation am I going to do for my neighbor, Miss Alexa? Yeah, not a great presentation. I'm not going to follow the 7 steps to the sale. I'm not going to bring enthusiasm. I'm also not going to what? Connect, because I don't care. I'm trying to make $15. So if that's you, find a different job. This job is a sales job. This job is I'm going to sit down, do the best presentation, follow the script, check in with the office, and follow the big things and try to make that sale. And go for a laptop sale or bigger. Or if I mess up, no worries. I can drop down and find an option. If I really mess up, I'll go to 300. And if I'm really low, I'll go below 300, and I'm still in training. That's why it's called, in the contract you just signed, I like the sheet. It says Cutco sales rep agreement, not I'm just going to show Cutco make $15 agreement. Right? And there's such a beauty in you guys learning how to sell things, because at some point in life, you always have to sell. Doctors, lawyers, fashion, occupational therapy, nursing, you have to sell. You always have to sell either a product, an idea, or who? You have to sell yourself on an interview to get a job with that firm, let's say. So let me show you how to make the money here. It's just so exciting. I'm going to take people who have a decent. So Vika, you've got 10 plus appointments, and Chris. So let's take these two. Who has a goal of doing well over 10 appointments the first weekend? Right? So you think about this, right? Think of all the people that you're going to book up. You do 10 appointments, Vika. Let's say tonight you got one of your best 5 tonight. Who's that? Mom. Okay, awesome. What do you think Mom's going to get? Which laptop? What are you going to get, Mom? Signature. Okay, so watch. Okay, $1,800. How long did it take her to hit her first promotion? One mom, her mom. Right, so in an hour, she's already hit her first promotion. She's made $100 plus. Actually, technically 200. Okay, then she has a book date tomorrow, probably between 3 and 5, and she'll keep booking appointments. So let's say tomorrow she gets to $3,000 in sales. That means she's made over $400 in income already, and it's not even Monday yet. Then she comes to Monday advanced training. We get those tips. She has 3 or 4 appointments after, and then the next couple of days she gets to $6,000 before the weekend. She's already $1,000 in income. It's not even Thursday yet. And then she uses the Wednesday and Thursday phone jam to book a full weekend. She makes sure she finishes strong by Sunday night. That's 10 days. She gets to $10,000. That means in 10 days, she's made $2,000 in 10 days. She's at dirty 30. She's going to hit the VIP night, okay? And she's making now part-time work, full-time pay. And let's not forget, $2,000. It only took 10 days. Exciting? Yeah. Ready? Why would you be excited about 15? I mean, for crying out loud, if you really mess up, what's the order number? How much? If you really mess up. Like if you have to drop down, 300. What's 10% of 300 when you're new? $30. And you're excited about 15? Isn't 30 more than 15? So which one should you be more excited about? Making the sales, okay? So what does that mean? Ready? That means focus on quality appointments, focus on your tack list, and focus on just getting the coaching calling in, and really being great with customers. Okay? You guys are gonna be great. I'm so excited for you. So let me walk through what today's gonna be like. We'll take a break. So after this break, Luke's gonna get you guys on the phone and also do your paperwork at the end. So you're all officially registered with us. Number 2, after the break, he's gonna cover how to get recommendations. One of my favorite parts of training, and he gets to run it, he's gonna show you how you can recommend friends to the job, like many of you were recommended, and how you can win the tropical trip. And he's also gonna talk about the Fast Fair contest, all the levels of the prizes. So that's the way to get you started, really pumped for the day. Then after that, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna walk through the full presentation, give you a little tips on each page. I'll show you, we'll practice how to close the sale with one of the sets. And I'll even practice and show you all the different prices of the other alternatives, all the way from the homemaker, even if you have to get to 300, and even if you have to go lower than 300, I'll show you all the options. We'll review the virtual appointment. So when you have customers that are lined up to see virtually, different country, different state, we'll practice that. And then at the end, Luke will show you how to put your sample kit together. He'll teach you how to call in, ready to rock and roll. Okay? Nice job, everyone. It is now 1:47, so we'll have a 2 o'clock hard start. Okay, 13-minute break, 2 o'clock hard start. Okay,